Hello friends. Hey all you makers, all you mamas and all you papas, everybody out there that's just trying to get by in all this crazy different world that we kind of seem to be living in right now. I have something really fun that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, and I'm super excited. So let me know if you can't hear me or if the lighting's not okay, because I am in a different setup than I normally am. So I'm gonna wait just a couple minutes because we said we were starting at 4. Now I want to make sure some people get on here. My name is Tamara and I own Encore. I opened a clothing and furniture store in 2003. We were new resale and local designers, and about 6 years ago I started working with Amy Howard at Home Products in my store. I started selling them, and then I started training. I go down to Memphis and train with Amy. If you ever get the chance to do that, do it. It's life-changing and it's a heck of a lot of fun. I needed to know how to use and teach people how to use these products. So then we also started doing classes, and fast forward now, after 6 years, my store has been closed for 3, and I have been working primarily with Amy Howard at Home Products, where I do commissioned work for clients. I work on new home builds. I do a lot of different craft things. I get to go on our local news and teach some crafting things. So I get to play with you guys today. So it looks like we have quite a few people coming on. I'm gonna be honest, if I look down over here, it's because I also have my computer, because I am really jealous of the people that can do this. Hey Jolyn, and they can see the comments popping up here, because I can't always do that. So I tried a little bit of a different setup. I won't keep going out of the screen, I promise, once I get this where I would like it. I'm just glad you guys are all here with me today, because it really means a lot to me. When you guys come on here, let's see, that'll enlarge it. When you guys come on here, I'll be honest, I gotta turn this down. When I come on here and you guys have given some of your time to hang out with me, I take it very personally. I absolutely love it, and I enjoy spending time with you. So let's have fun. Let me know where you're at. Let's interact and play and have a good time. Well, let's get started. We're playing with CopyCat. So I have had a lot of people ask, what is CopyCat? Hey, Amy Howard at home who's watching. CopyCat is something I think that is a little bit, it needs some love. I think it's lonely. I think more people need to use it, and I'm going to show you some different ways that you can do it. But my favorite thing about it, you're going to giggle, it's actually called an image transfer potion. I like that name. It's really fun. So CopyCat is going to exactly do that. It's going to teach you how you can transfer an image. I'm going to show you an example right here. This is actually something that I did, let me back this up, when I was in Memphis training with Amy Howard. So what they did, and I'm going to show you everything, we had an image that was just printed off on an inkjet printer. Now, if it has words on it, you're going to want to reverse the image, flip the image, and that should be really easy to do with whatever image you have. If you're in your computer, you can go on and edit, and there should be a little icon to have the option to flip it. If you don't flip it, hi Deanna, how are you? Oh, mwah, I love you. If you don't flip it, then your words are going to be backwards, and then you're going to be bummed. So what we started off with was literally this, and I'm going to show you actually on a smaller version because that's not incredibly exciting. But what I want you to see about this is we started off with just an image on a piece of regular old printer paper. After we attached it, we let it sit overnight. It says on the bottle to let it sit 2 to 24 hours. I prefer to let it sit longer. The longer it sits, you're going to get a crisper image. You're going to get a more true color if you're doing full color. Yeah, did you hear that? You can do full color. So it's a really fun project. Start it. We'll get that attached, and then the next day is when the magic happens. But then after the magic happened, that's not it. Once the image is transferred, and this is just on a canvas, then we used light wax, dark wax, dust of ages. We put a little bit of gold leaf here and there. See, you could make some amazing art. And then picture this if you did this on the front of a chest of drawers. And it even was, that could be broken up over those drawers, like a small nightstand or whatever. So I wanted to start off by getting you excited and showing you this. And we're gonna do all kinds of fun things. So I'm gonna show you a few of the things that I printed off. This is the image that I used. I thought I'd shake it up a little bit. I'm a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, and I have a nightstand in my bedroom that has one drawer, and I thought it would be fun, so I grabbed this royalty free. I went under free prints on Google, and I printed this off, and because I thought this would be fun. It's not like obnoxious Marilyn Monroe in your face. You got to really look close to see what it is, and you're going to see on the drawer what that looks like. There's just a couple, like how fun would these be? But can you see I didn't print them off backwards. I didn't reverse them. And then just to give you ideas, how fun would something like this be? I love old cars. I love anything 50s, 60s. So just giving you some ideas. And then if you want to do something really boho, Frenchy, gypsy, whatever you want, there's possibilities are endless. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take these, put these over here because we don't need them right now. I know this isn't furniture, we're getting to it because I have it ready, but I want to be able to show you how you attach this to whatever it is that you're gonna be working on. Hi Connie, how are you? Oh, you're excited. So you've had CopyCat forever and you've just never investigated how to use it. Well, I did all the investigating for you and I've worked with it. I've done a lot of different things with it. So have fun with it. These are these little balsa wood, I don't know, I think it's supposed to be a mason jar. I picked these up on clearance forever ago at Joann's, and I have used these time and time again for making tags for presents. But I also do a different theme every year of Christmas ornaments, and I like to use these. So here is another one of my Marilyns that I printed off last night. So all I'm going to do is grab good old styrofoam bowl here. Hi Renee, how are you? Good question. Could it be used for decoupage as well? You know what, I've not tried to do it that way. I've only ever used it as an image transfer. So that's a good question for Amy. I probably poured way more in there than I need because you don't need a lot, but this is really, you're going to see why I'm not taking a ton of time on this part. This is the important part. I want you to get your foam brush. This works the absolute best. Hey Luann, how are you? And I want you to just get a good coverage on here. Can you see it when it's down there? No, I'll pull it up. Can you guys see okay? Because I am doing this completely different than I've ever done any of these lives before. I love doing these lives. I just wanted to be able to see the comments so we can all have fun and interact. So you get a good coat on whatever it is, be it your drawer front, your canvas. You can do this on fabric. How cool is that? Then on your image, you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to do it on the side where the photo's at, okay? Now get a good even coat on here. You don't want to gloppy, because that will kind of change how the image goes down. So that's all I did, covered that. Here's one little trick, especially if you're doing more of an art piece or something on the smaller side like this one is. I'll set that there. Take your image and then whatever you're using and lay it on top of the image, okay? That's easier than taking this wet piece of paper and trying to, you know, get it on without getting any wrinkles in it, okay? Then what you're going to do, so let's pretend whether we're doing it on this or we're doing it on a drawer front, which that is what I did. Then you're going to take a plastic putty knife, which of course I left mine in the other room. The other things that work really good are those Pampered Chef things that you scrape out your food from, and you're just gonna burnish it. Now don't get too crazy, especially if you got it maybe a little heavy-handed with the CopyCat, because just think how wet the paper is gonna be. But you just wanna, that's getting out all of the, and kind of any bumps and lumps. It's just going to burnish that down in there. Oh, I love Coco Chanel too. Oh, okay. I know this is so off task, but I have to show you this then. I flipped this image and did it right. How cute. How fun is that? Now it's probably not backwards to you, but I did flip it so I could do something with it. I'm gonna make all kinds of Marilyn ornaments this year. Okay, easy peasy, right? You just put it on your surface, then you put it on the print itself. If your edges hang over, don't worry about that. You can cut it if you want, but what we're gonna do will end up taking care of that as well. So this, I'm just gonna let it sit. Boom. ta-da! We're gonna pretend that I just did this one. Okay, so this is one that I did not that long ago. I'm gonna be really honest. This I did last night. This I did a few hours ago. And so it's not quite as bright as what hopefully we're gonna see on our drawer front. This is also just a piece that I'm gonna make an ornament out of, but that is the exact same print. So I wanna show that to you too so you can see. And the quality of your printer will make a little bit of a difference of how bright it is. So this is how bright this was. This is how this turned out. But this was only on here for about 2 hours. So I suspect had I actually left it overnight, it should be on there a lot longer. Hi, Angie. Oh, yay! Mwah! You just made me happy. Okay, I gotta get back to task. So here is this. Now, when you are done with it, so what I did is I did this a couple hours ago, about 2.5 hours ago. Then I did the process that we're gonna do next, and I'm gonna show you how it's gonna end up being, it's a little rough. So once all of that paper comes off and your image is actually transferred onto here, then you're gonna take 400 grit sandpaper and you're just gonna lightly sand it. Don't get crazy, don't get too crazy. I tend to get crazy. And you're just gonna, and that'll get any of your edges that need to come off too. Then you can finish it off however you want. We're gonna play with some wax and I'll probably end up doing some glitter, some different things. So, I mean, can you see though how it does? I mean, the image, so think about this. You could take pictures of your kids and do like blocks of wood and do these for presents for grandma and grandpa. I always like coming up with ways like for moms and dads for Mother's Day and what have you. I know my hair's crazy. It's long and I don't know what to do with it, so I apologize. But okay, so take your kids' artwork. And what if you did something really cool and like something that they did and transfer that onto something a little nicer than the construction paper or whatever that they would normally do it on. So take their artwork, photocopy that off. I mean, copy it, use an inkjet printer, and then make something for mama or dad or grandparents that is something that is more of an heirloom piece instead of just something that, you know, only sticks on the refrigerator. So we're gonna come back to this. So here's the nitty gritty of it. This is how this works. So I've got a bowl. So technical. This is clean actually, I washed it. I've got a white lint-free rag. I got a thermos because I'm in the garage. You want warm water. It just works a little bit better with warm water instead of cold water. So I thought, why don't I just go ahead and get me some warm water in a thermos? I'm gonna only pour maybe half of that out because I suspect I'm going to need a little bit more. So get your rag wet. What's the temperature where you guys are? Because it's actually feeling like fall here right now. I'm loving it. Okay. And ask me any questions. I will do my best. So here's the drawer from my nightstand, okay? Now, what I do, and I will move this out of the way. Working with limited spaces here. There we go. All you're gonna do, the first kind of pass to go around is I take my rag and I don't completely like squeeze it all out. I still have quite a bit of water and I just kind of start dabbing that all over your piece. And you can already see that image starting to come through a little bit better just as this is wet, right? So dab, dab, dab. I know that this is gonna be kind of for y'all a little bit of the boring part. Okay, so see how I kind of have this wet all over? Start on a corner, start on an edge. Don't just go right away into the middle because that's gonna help you. Now I'm gonna get up here because see how quickly, I wanna make sure you can see. Can you see how it is like literally, and you with your finger, it's starting to just kind of, that paper is starting to peel away. Oh, I hope you can see that. Ah, look how bright it is, I get so excited. Okay. Now, don't get too crazy now and scrub too hard because that tends to be what I do. My husband says I'm hard on equipment. If you're supposed to scrub it, then I want to scrub it. You're just going in a circular motion, okay? It's picking weather in Kansas City. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. Angie you. You're so kind. Okay. You're going to end up doing this all over the piece. And I want to, part of me was going to have this started, but I'm supposed to be on here for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. I know you don't want to see me scrubbing us, but it's the magic of it, okay? Like, let me know as I'm doing this, so to help pass the time while you're watching. This isn't paint dry, but you get the point. Like, what all kinds of things could you see doing this with now, right? How about that? Can you see there? Can you see how it's literally, it's starting to just come off? The paper's going away, and the image is on here for good. And no, see how I told you don't worry about those sides? You can get that. It's just going to come. Oop, see, I got a little crazy right there. I also know that I didn't do so good with my CopyCat on the side, so be careful there. Totally my fault, and I know better because I've done this a ton of times. But once it kind of starts coming off, then I just literally will come back in here with my finger and ever so lightly. You see it just kind of starts to come off. 91 in Tampa. Oh, actually that does sound lovely. I'm going to be really honest. Sunny in 82. Kathy says it's sunny and 82 in Alabama. Coastal Alabama. I love it. I love that our Amy Howard family is everywhere. So, I know you're getting the picture. See how it just kind of starts to come off? And some of that color is coming off. Now, I've got to be careful over in here not to keep working that area because I don't want to lose too much of my color. So I do want you to see that, yes, it will transfer color pretty darn good. It also depends on how good of your images that you started with. I would like to do one that is pretty large, but I need to figure out what printer I would go to. Or I could do images that I kind of piece together. I was thinking about that too, and do it on the front of a chest of drawers instead of a nightstand. You can personalize your home decor this way. Absolutely any way you want. You can make artwork. You can do it on furniture. You can do it on tabletops. I always like the idea of doing it on, like we mentioned earlier, like on drawers, just to give it a nice little. Rainy and 62 in Rossville, Tennessee. I said inkjet, didn't I? Laserjet, inkjet. What's the difference? And I should have known this. I've always had inkjet printers, I guess. I don't know that it says. I'm looking again. Okay, I don't know for sure, and I feel bad. I should have known that better before I came on here. It's just always worked with whatever printer I've had. Renee, we need to find that out. Okay. I'm going to kind of hurry this up a little bit without getting too crazy. But you see, it does take a little bit of patience. But I want you to see kind of how it's coming. Can you guys see that? Let me turn just a bit. This is what I want to make sure that you can see. So it just starts to roll off. Look at that. So here is this coming off. I know you're probably bored with this. So the deal I'm going to make with you is I will completely finish this out. And then what I'm going to do to it is do some wax on it. Well, before I do some wax, I'm going to actually add a little bit of gold leaf here and there. And then I will wax it. I'll make it all pretty. And then I will show the after picture. But I'm going to show you on this one what I mean. So you could use matte sealer. You could do about whatever you wanted. So remember I said you're going to take, when it's done, you need it to dry about 30 minutes, okay, before you do anything else to it. Then you're going to take a 400 grit sandpaper. Most people have color printers, have inkjet. Okay, thank you, Luann. I know that confused me. So I want my edges. I want those nice and clean. I'm going to get my water out of here before I end up dipping something down into that. And then I'm just going to take my Better with Age. Mind Your Own Beeswax. What a great name. I'm literally just gonna plop just a tiny bit of this down in here. So anytime, especially on something like this, if I am using a bowl like this, remember I'm only gonna use like a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna offload on the side of it still since I don't have my cardboard here. So I'm gonna get some of my wax here and then kind of offload it. I used this the other day and I left it out. So offload some of that, and then I'm just gonna come right here, make sure I get it all over. That alone is also gonna make that pop out a little bit more. Get that a little brighter. Can you see how it brought that color out even more? So how easy. Once this comes to tack, I'll buff that out and you'll have a nice, beautiful shine. So I know it's not the hardest thing in the world to do. I think it intimidates some people. I think maybe some people aren't really sure how they want to use it or what they want to use it with. So that's what I was hoping more than anything today, that I could inspire you to maybe try a product you hadn't used before and possibly wanted to. Maybe I gave you some ideas of where you could, you seal it properly, let me ask. Laser jet is toner and inkjet is liquid ink. It is inkjet. It's definitely inkjet. Okay, there's people way smarter on here than me, so I love that. Because yeah, I know it does not work with the toner. So my printers have always had the individual colors. So hopefully that helps too. Just remember you can do something along, this is another one that we did. Oh, I wanted to show you this. My husband actually did this one in one of our classes. So this was the Amy Howard logo that I printed off. And we did this in class. Now, purposefully, and I wanted him to do this, he got a little crazy and a lot of the wording or the image came off, and he wanted that to happen because we were talking about creating old world finishes. And I had a couple sign makers in the class that wanted a way for it to look more natural, for it to look aged without coming back in with heavy sandpaper. And so this was, I thought, really fun. It's probably backwards for you guys. Actually, that's one my mom did. I'm so sorry. This is the one. So look at this. This is one my husband did. So just to give you some, some different ideas of things that you can do. You can use the canvas. You can put it on furniture. You can put it on fabric. You can make whatever you want. My dogs are barking, and I don't mean my feet. So, oh my gosh, we'll rewatch it later. This will be posted, of course, on Amy Howard. It will also be posted on my page, which is Encore. I'm Tamara Encore Hudson. Come on over to my page and say hello to me. I love interacting with all of you creatives and my fellow soul sisters. And then tonight on the Encore page, my husband and I will be doing crafting after dark with the Hudsons. Tonight will be later. It's normally at 9 o'clock, but we're probably not going on until 10. But most of all, I adore you all. You are enough and you are doing enough. Take some time to play and hone in your craft and the things that you love because you deserve it. I love you guys. Have a great night.